Hi, my name is Kriss, and I'm coming to you from Austin, Texas, where I'm quarantined with my daughter and son-in-law and their sweet brand new baby, Wilhelmina Wolf. And I am going to teach you how to dye with some natural dye and things that you just might have hanging around your house. Perfect thing to do when you are in quarantine or just isolating, or even if you're not. There are lots of things that you have around your house that make perfectly beautiful dyes on new or existing clothing. So anyway, the video is going to be a little choppy because I have really limited access to technology. We'll just see how it goes. You can dye with onion skins, both purple or yellow, or you can dye with turmeric, or I also use avocado pits. Avocado pits make a really beautiful peachy pink color. Onion skins can go from like a sand to a deep beigey brown. The purple onion skins are amazing. Purple onion skins actually make a green dye. And then turmeric is going to be yellow. For this particular project, I have decided to try turmeric. I haven't done it before, so you get to see my experiment. Oftentimes, natural dyes are not as light fast as commercial synthetic dyes, but they're much, much better for the environment, for your body, and for the health of both the wearer and the planet. So I highly recommend natural dyes wherever possible. Vinegar helps to set a lot of the colors and make it more light fast and keep it from washing out oftentimes. So I don't know what's going to happen with turmeric. I've been doing just a tiny bit of research, and I thought we're just going to wing it and see. So here goes. I've got some pictures following this little blip that show you what you'll need to have for a quick setup around the house. One thing you need to note is that while a lot of things are natural, that doesn't mean that they're non-toxic. So just because something is plant-based, just like you wouldn't necessarily eat everything out in the woods, you don't want to put just anything in a pot that you ordinarily cook with. So if it's not a foodstuff that you would normally use as an ingredient in a meal, then you're going to have to use a designated pot for natural dyes. Because I'm working outside, I've run an extension cord to a hot plate because that's what I have access to right now. And I'm just using the hose to fill the pot up with some water. I'm going to be doing a baby onesie. You could do a t-shirt, you can just do fabric, whatever you want to do. Make sure that it's been washed before you try to dye with it. In a perfect world, you would do something called scouring, which is washing it with soda ash and detergent, or like washing soda, and that helps to get out the oils that cotton has in it. You need to be using an all-natural fiber: cotton, wool, rayon, bamboo. So I put the water in the pot, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the heat. I think I'll just keep this running. It'll be easier. Okay. So I have the onesie, and I'm just going to get it wet. Now, when I was reading about this, it said to use about 3 tablespoons of turmeric in the dye, and I really want to do a direct application of turmeric right on this, and then I'm going to fold it up and also put it in a dye bath and see what kind of effect I get by just sprinkling turmeric directly on the fabric. So I'm just going to lay this on the ground. I'm just totally roughing it. It's going to be all right. The onesie right here. I'm just going to take some turmeric and I'm just going to sprinkle it like that. See? And I'm going to fold this over so it kind of comes in contact with it. I'm going to go ahead and kind of accordion fold this. I've folded it like this. I'm going to sprinkle a little more in here. And I'm going to start on one end. And I'm just going to loosely tie a knot, just loosely. And I'm going to make it a slip knot so it'll be easy to take out once I get done with the dyeing, okay? Then I'm just going to wrap it. I'm going to bind it. And by doing that, everywhere it's tight and there are creases, that's going to prevent the color from the water getting in. If you're somebody who it grosses you out to get your hands dirty, then just wear rubber gloves. You probably have plenty of those at your house right now. So I've just done a real simplistic kind of tying situation just to add a little resist. So rather than wasting the turmeric, I'm just going to rinse my hands off. I'm going to add some clear vinegar to the water to help it take the dye better. Now I'm going to take 3 scoops of turmeric and put in here. I've got it set on high. Right now the water's still just barely warm, so I can just put my hand in and kind of stir it around. You can see that it's already really bright yellow. Okay, so I'm going to let this heat up to a boil. I'm going to let it boil for about 20 minutes before I throw the fabric in. Okay, so I've let this heat up for a good 20 minutes. You could go longer if you want. And now it's no longer boiling. I'm going to add the shirt. Ooh, look how yummy that looks. Already you can see how bright it is. Now it won't be this bright. A lot of this is going to rinse out, but it's really fun to see what it looks like right now. Okay, so we're just going to leave that in there. I'm going to turn the heat off and just let it sit overnight. The longer you can leave it in, the more intense the color is, and it'll last longer. So, bye. See you tomorrow. Okay, so it's been 24 hours since I put it in here. Wouldn't really have to stay for 24 hours, but this is the first time I've had a chance to get back to it. So I'm going to open up the lid, and ta-da, look, everything's settled to the bottom. And here's the shirt, okay? So I'm going to rinse it and then untie it. This is some pretty intense color. Just trying to get the main part off. I'm going to go back to the edge. If I had wanted this to be a more solid color, then what I would have done is gone back and stirred it about every 20 minutes and pulled it out a little sooner. But because I was tie-dyeing it and I wanted to have some white variation in there, I just left it overnight, knowing that the ties would do whatever they're going to do. Wow, That is some bold color. That's the front. That's the back. I'll take some pictures so you can see it. The lighting is a little hard here. Hi. Okay, so last night I was washing the dishes and we used Dr. Bronner's just a peppermint bar soap in the kitchen. And I had a white sponge that I had been using to clean turmeric up off the counter. And so the sponge was bright yellow. And I wiped it across the Dr. Bronner's soap and the sponge turned pink. And I was like, what the heck? I have no idea what happened. And it rinsed out, but I decided it might be fun to try and figure out what the catalyst was that's in the soap. So it was peppermint soap. So I brought out just some peppermint essential oil that I thought I'd drop on there, and I thought, well, if nothing else, it'll smell good, and see if there's a catalyst there. And if not, then I'm going to drop the soap onto it and see if the catalyst works on the shirt like it did on the sponge. If that works, then I've also got some unscented Dr. Bronner's soap that's liquid that I brought out to see what happens. So let's try it and see. Okay, so here goes. If nothing else, it'll make it smell good. Okay, so it's not doing anything at all, which is interesting, which makes me wonder what the Dr. Bronner's has in it that made it do something. I'm gonna run inside and get some soap. Be right back. Okay, so this time I've got this Dr. Bronner soap literally from the kitchen. It's kind of gross looking, but I'm gonna just drip it across here and see what happens. Oh my gosh, you can already see it. So like, what is in this soap that's causing this? Okay, so we know that does it. Now I've got Dr. Bronner's liquid soap. I'm gonna try that and see if that does it. But this isn't scented, so it'll be interesting to see what it might be. Oh yeah. Wow, I do not know what that is. Wow. Pretty amazing. Okay, so I held it up and kind of let it run, and now I'm just going to rinse it and see what it does. I don't know if when I remove the soap, if it'll remove the color. Wow, it doesn't look like it is. Well, maybe a little bit. Okay, so I have no idea. I have no idea what that is in the soap that did that. Totally wild experiment, huh? Who knew? All of these are all natural, and now I've washed the onesie, and that's what I got. So this is the shirt after it's completely rinsed but not dried. By the time the shirt dried, many of the red tones had disappeared, so whatever the catalyst was to drop those tones in, they weren't permanent. So thanks for taking time to watch this. Here are a couple quick suggestions about dyeing with onion skins and avocado pits. Avocado pits I usually boil for at least an hour, then turn the heat off, and if you let it sit overnight, then you'll just have more color that comes out of it, and then you can throw your t-shirt in. I usually boil it for another hour. I pull the pits out, boil it for another hour with the shirt in, and then I just turn the heat off and let it sit overnight. onion skins, same thing. I pull the onion skins out. You can leave them in if you want it to kind of kiss it all over with darker color. The places where the onion skin or the avocado pit actually touch the shirt, it can leave more of a mark. So anyway, good luck trying it. Have a great day.